This meeting is being recorded.
Greetings and welcome to Mount Olympus. I am Hercules Invictus, and I invite you to our Sword and Sandal Cinema Special. Today we're going to be talking to Ron Carson of Ron Carson's Coliseum, and he'll be discussing the changes in the Coliseum in the weeks ahead. But before we begin that, I will share with you a legend of Hercules. Since Plato first penned his foundational works, many a tale teller has spun a fantastic yarn of long ago times and set it in ancient Atlantis. One of the most recent was a television series that explored the lost continent through the lens of Greek mythology. Epic heroes like Jason and Hercules, along with historical figures like Pythagoras, adventured in a land not unlike mythic Minoan Crete, and revisit the classical legends. Though unseen, Poseidon is all-powerful and forever present. Alas, the series was not renewed for a third season, which is unfortunate, as it was leading to the voyage of the Argo. But the two-season adventure is now immortalized on Blu-ray, DVD, and on streaming services. And with that, we go to Ron Carson. Greetings and welcome, Ron Carson.
Good evening, Sandal. How are you today?
Busy. I have not stopped working on the show and the online media for the show since early this morning. So I'm actually taking a break by speaking with you for a little while.
I'm glad that you're taking a little time to decompress with yours truly over here, as you asked me to come in for a special appearance to
Yes.
let you know about some changes that are going on over at the Coliseum, which we get together every fourth Tuesday every month on Blogtalkradio. And
Yes,
for start, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go right ahead. It's okay.
Well, for starters, we're still going to be together, my co-host and I, Andrea Tutrani. She will still be a part of the presentation, as I could not run the Coliseum without her, for start. And then second of all, what we want to do is we're not going to be focusing on total movie reviews like we normally did in the past. We're going to kind of focus on the topic of the sword and sandal era of mythological proportions, and we're going to kind of dissect the facts and fiction of this particular topic at hand. So this will be a much more informed and in-depth view as to what we want to present to your audience over here, Hercules.
So the new show is going to be a 20-minute show instead of a 30-minute show. So that was one of the.
That is correct. We're also going to be what do you call, dropping the length of the show from a half an hour to 20 minutes, 15 minutes of regular content, along with 5 minutes of quarterbacking like we normally do with the movies after the end of the segment. So, but I figure this is going to be a different spin. We are going to focus on some of the sword and sandal genre era movies, but we're going to dissect them and analyze them a little bit more in depth like we normally would, instead of give you a plain movie review. So
now,
how does that sound?
That sounds great. When the Coliseum first started, its focus was on biblical epics mostly,
Yes.
and a few Roman epics besides. And it's evolved and grown, and this is yet another evolution and growth of the series. What types of movies, when you focus on movies, what type of movies do you plan on focusing on?
Well, we're still going to focus on some of the biblical aspect of the genre. I mean, recently, the Ten Commandments aired on network television, and that, of course, was a masterpiece in itself. So what I would do is take an example of that movie and kind of dissect the fact from the fiction of this particular film. That's what we're going to do. And eventually, we're going to continue with the mythological creatures of the Peplum era. Like, we wanted to get more details on Medusa, more details on the Gorgons, more details on the Minotaur, the Cyclops, et al. You know what I'm trying to say? We're just basically going to give you a bird's eye view of each of these characters that have made this body of cinema what it is today.
Well, we have a show already called Mythic Monsters, where we do that twice a
Yes.
month. We do it on video and we do it on audio. So I guess this would be a crossover, Ron Carson's Coliseum with Mythic Monsters.
Correct.
When you do these shows.
Yeah, Andrea and I will pick a particular movie that we're going to dissect and pretty much what you call, I would definitely say it would be the type of movie that we would kind of like gear towards our conversation, okay? Instead of giving you a plain movie review and talk about the actual nuts and bolts of the movie, we're going to be a little more in-depth and more what you call passing on some more vital information about the movie in general and about some of the characters that we're going to be focusing on.
It sounds
yes.
exciting. And so basically you'll be doing that, fact versus fiction, an occasional movie review, and then mythical monsters in the sword and sandal genre. Yeah,
correct. Like we recently reviewed that Medusa movie with George Hamilton, and there was just a lot of, unanswered questions to that particular picture. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to decipher exactly what was different than the peplum version or the, historical sword and sandal version of that particular character as to the comparisons of the Medusa in mythological times as opposed to the Medusa in the George Hamilton movie. So that's basically what we're doing, is giving you a little perspective on some of the highlights of the movie that we're going to be picking each month. So
it sounds very exciting. And the Medusa sparked a quest, and several people have gotten back to me with information. It seems like Medusa was in the beginning in the credits and also in the trailer. Correct. And the Medusa wasn't supposed to be an actual Medusa, but a metaphorical Medusa that they were dealing with throughout the movie. The circumstances themselves were the Medusa. So even though they promoted the Medusa very heavily and included a Medusa mask in the opening credits and had images of Medusas, again, mostly in their advertising, the Medusa did not appear in the movie, and many people felt that the movie was misnamed. Many people felt that they were cheated because they were expecting George Hamilton to face a snake-headed monstrosity from antiquity, and that didn't happen.
Yes. No, we just got a little more of a suntan. That's basically it. But to make a long story short, that's exactly what you did. You hit the hammer and the nail, Hercules. We're pretty much going to examine the metaphorical qualities of some of these movies. And I want to just delve into the subject. I don't want to just do a typical movie review. I mean, we had a blast with that particular genre of kind of letting people know about what we're presenting at the Coliseum. But we also want to let people know the serious aspect of the type of entertainment that we're showing every month at this particular soundstage. So, like I said, the perfect example was when we reviewed History of the World with Mel Brooks, how many comparisons there were to the sword and sandal genre. That kind of purported the idea.
I understand. So what are you covering this Tuesday? Because the Coliseum is fast approaching its air date.
That is correct. Well, I have not spoken with my partner in arms as of yet, but we will let you know via private message, and you can post on Facebook, because I have to consult with the other half too, being that she's also a part of the Coliseum, as to what we're going to be discussing on Tuesday night, and we'll eventually take it from there. I mean, we want to just give the element of surprise. It's still a couple of days away, so let's just have the audience kind of scratch their heads and wonder what we're going to be talking about. And then once we divulge the information at hand, we'll be able to start delving into this new realm of a more revised and a more analytical version of Ron Carson's Coliseum with co-star Andrea Tutrani, of course. You know?
Of course.
So,
and as many people may not or may know by this point in our adventures, the Ron Carson's Coliseum is inspired by a movie theater called the Coliseum in Washington Heights, New York, where as youngsters we used to spend a lot of our time watching the types of movies that we still adore and talk about on these shows.
Yeah, lots of happy memories at that particular building, which was probably one of the finest auditoriums to watch a silver-screened movie. I mean, this place, I remember in the old days, also had an orchestra pit, and they used to do live shows, vaudeville and, you know, musicals and presentations. It was like the Radio City Music Hall of 181st Street.
Yes, I remember.
And then
quite a place to go.
And we had many good memories of watching some fantastic movies at the RKO Coliseum. And being that it still exists, but in a much more condensed, chopped up way right now. You know, they turned it into a multiplex, and it was just, it's not like it used to be. Gone is the decor of the earliest 20th century. I mean, the lights were dim, if you remember, before the movie would start. And there's a balcony upstairs, and there was a nice little lounge over there where you had the popcorn and the soda, and when people used to be able to smoke cigarettes in the lobby, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those days are gone, unfortunately. So that's basically the reason why I named my project the Coliseum, in honor of that venerable theater that I grew up right around the corner within walking distance of my old neighborhood. So, and that you and I have been a part of watching a lot of these classic sword and sandal films, and then some, over there in that particular venue. So it's a nice way of paying homage to a beautiful part of our lives that, you know, it doesn't exist anymore, but we still have all these great memories to go with it. Because, you know, I'm a very nostalgic, living in the past type of guy, and the RKO Coliseum is always going to be a fabric of my life, because it's been since I was a kid, you know? Yes. And we've shared many a time sitting there, having our popcorn, having our soft drinks, watching these fantastic movies together as cousins and brothers, you know? And
the rest
I kind of like the fact that
11, the rest of our
the $1 million movie, and then the you know, Chiller Theater for the horror films, and yeah, it's like our past. It's very much ingrained in the back of our heads, and will never go away. So, and the only way I can keep that spirit alive with the RKO is to pretty much name this feature after the Coliseum, and that's exactly what's happening, and we're having a lot of fun with it, as a matter of fact, cuz.
Now, I know that you've been to Greece more times than I've been to Greece. Have you also ever been to Italy to visit the Coliseum? I've been to the Coliseum. The Coliseum was
No,
awesome.
I have not been to the Rome version, no. But I did not get a chance to see that piece of history in my own eyes in Rome. But, you know, I've been to Greece 9 times in my life. So,
yes.
And another reason why I like the Coliseum name is because the outdoor Delphi Theater outside of Athens has that same ambiance and that same fit that I usually present, because we're an outdoor cinema over here.
Yes.
And we're open rain or shine.
I was remembering when I was younger in Muderos, and another of the towns in Limnos, there used to be traveling performers. And there were stories of Koutalianos. You know, Koutalianos, he had his own couple of songs, and he was very well known. And there is actually a statue of him in Limnos. And there are stories that he was originally from Koutali in, you know, once the Ottoman Empire or Byzantium. And he went with the other people from Koutali to Nea Koutali, which is in Limnos. And then there was another Hercules that I met there who was known as Samson, Yanis, I don't remember his last name, but I had conversations with him. He used to throw a sledgehammer up and hit it with his head, and he used to pull trucks with his teeth and do things like that. They were very much part of my growing up. There were movies that they used to show on the sides of the houses. There were magicians who traveled around, and sometimes you go to the village square and watch them. So there was that whole aspect of entertainment. And until I started thinking more about those times, I wasn't aware of how much these things influenced me, especially the strongmen, the Iraklides, the Magistes, they used to call them as they went around. And I remember speaking with one of them, like on more than one occasion. He and his wife used to travel around from island to island and from town to town and do their performances at night. And and we had the song Okutalianos, and of course in America we had Charles Atlas, and we had all the peplum stars from America and Italy with their productions. So that was very much a part. And I remember seeing some of these epics of Sword and Sandal in Greece with a projector, like projected on a wall in the middle of Mudaros, near the near the Agora. So these movies, aside from being available in the Archeo Coliseum and in the comfort of our home on the black and white television on Channel 9 and Channel 11, they also permeated our childhood in Greece itself, where these things...
Absolutely.
And I remember...
Absolutely. And
once.
Go ahead.
They had a movie theater opposite Poros, so I had to take a boat to the other side.
Galatas.
Galata. And I went to see a movie there, and it was Odysseus, with Kirk Douglas.
Odysseus, yes. I remember we went together that time.
Yes.
We took the ferry and we went to see that because we were a little bored hanging around Uncle Bobby's domain. So the only theater was across the river at Galata. That was the next little village parallel to Poros, and that was the only place where you could see a movie over there. And we did see Odysseus, and it was on the big screen too, which was nice. Yes,
it was on a big screen, which was very classy after the sides of houses and buildings in Mudaros. It was again, very much a part of growing up. I saw one of the Steve Reeves Hercules movies over there as well, and it was uncut. The one that I'd seen on television in the States was chopped up a bit. But there was an uncut version of it. And also I learned then that subtitles don't always tell you what is actually being said. I saw an American movie, and they cursed in the movie. They said "you," and then it was a really bad curse. And the Greek translation, "Ise vlakas," which means you're a jerk.
Ise vlakas, yeah, I know. Well, they try to be kind because it's tailored to families. That's why. So they didn't really want to go too far. But I also want to go back to Limnos for a second. If you remember, Nea Koutali is the village that's parallel to Mudros. When we were walking around the waterfront, you could actually see Nea Koutali on the other side of the ocean over there.
Yeah, the other side of the Limni. Yeah, you could see it. And I remember one time, I don't remember if it was walking with you or with another one of our relatives, where it was raining. In outside of Koutali. We'd reached Nea Koutali, and then looking outside, it was raining very heavily, like right outside where we were. So it was very strange. I've only seen that in Tenafly one time, where I was sitting in the front porch and it started raining, but it wasn't raining around the house. It was raining like near the Pezodromio, near the sidewalk. And that was very strange.
Well, back in the old days, we used to be able to take the boat there, the kaiki, remember?
Yeah.
And that's how we were when we were walking in Nea Koutali. That's when we got caught in the rainstorm.
And they had Marula, who was a modern-day Amazon, her statue, and there was a thing where you went deep into the earth, and there was like water. I don't remember the story for that, but Greece was full of these ancient and medieval
Hmm.
adventures or modern day echoes of these times that were cinematically available, or in stores. When you went in stores, there
Yeah.
were all these souvenirs that celebrated and commemorated the past. So I still have your mother's ermi and her crocodile.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I was looking for Athena, but I couldn't find her Athena. So I don't know where Athena went. But whenever
I
I
don't
see
know,
them,
but she had a statue. She had a statue of Athena, absolutely.
yeah,
And not only that, you're talking about Marula. That statue was in a village known as Kotsina,
yes,
which
and
is outside of Kutali.
and I found out recently by doing research on Amazons, modern day Amazons, that the Comninelli, this what do you call it, Count Marula, she was a Comninelli.
Uh-huh.
So she's
Oh, no
distantly,
kidding.
yeah, she's distantly related. So on that part of my family, Marula's bloodline, I don't know if she had any direct descendants or not, but the family that produced her produced, me, and I don't know if you share blood from that particular part of the family, but again, we're Lemnians,
I'm
so
not sure about that. I got to look into it, but I know your grandma Helen was Comninelli, and your uncle Angelo,
yes,
who, of course, were very near and dear people in our lives, as their memories remain eternal and everlasting, of course. But they're from that particular heritage of name. So, but it's very, very interesting how we can come back to all these golden moments in our homeland, and they still resonate to this day.
yes.
I mean, the statue of Marula is still, standing tall with the sword up on the top of her arm, and the fact that, my mother had the statues of Ermi and Athena, and, I don't know what happened with the Athena statue, but if we find it someplace, it's yours, I will pass that on to you again,
Thank you. Yeah, because
So-
I see I see the crocodile, and immediately I think of where they were in your house in
Yeah.
Washington Heights, and it brings back all these memories from childhood. And I
But
remember
if we find Athena, we will pass that wholeheartedly to you, being that's also your significant other's name as well. So that will be my gift to you if we stumble into that statue, okay?
Thank you very much. I saw the time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for taking this half an hour out of your busy schedule. And on
I wasn't busy today, cause it was a pretty empty day today, but I managed to do something. I'm out and about right now. I'm just east of Great Barrington in Palmer, Massachusetts right now. So, but I'm about to head back home right now before it gets dark. But I did some visiting with some friends today, and
awesome.
we're able to make the most out of it. But and I figure I had my Easter with other friends last week in town. So, but Christos Anesti to all our Orthodox friends listening tonight.
Christos Anesti and Alithos Anesti to anybody who says it back to us. Ron, thank you so very much. I enjoyed spending time with you on this special day. And I'm excited by the changes that you and Andrea are making to Ron Carson's Coliseum. And I look forward to sampling the new, exciting, and mysterious Ron Carson's Coliseum this coming Tuesday.
We will see you then, cuz in other words, have yourself a fantastic evening. And thanks to everybody listening today on the special edition of a preview of Ron Carson's Coliseum, which is coming up. And you'll get the first installment Tuesday evening, airtime to be determined. I'm sure you'll post on Facebook and social media. We'll let everybody know. But Andrea and I will be ready to unveil the brand new product.
Awesome. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon.
Thanks. You too, cuz. Don't work too hard, okay?
Thanks. And thanks to everybody who tuned in, wherever this winds up. I don't know if it will turn up as an audio or as a video, but it will be posting within the next few days. Until next time, joyous journeys and amazing adventures from the folks at Sword and Sandal Cinema. As we say in Greek, Yahara.
Καληνύχτα.
Καληνύχτα. Σ' αγαπώ.